start then. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to LatBAN November pitching session. Today we have 5 inspiring teams, and I would like to ask the first one on stage. It is Ilona from SilvEXPO. So 3 minutes are yours. Please.
Thank you. Okay, hello everyone. It's very nice to be here. I would like to introduce our company, SilvEXPO, to you. And we have a brand, RSM, which we're trying to launch. So basically, our company, we've already been in the market for around 5 years. We already have clients with whom we are working. Our uniqueness is in the ingredients, in the raw materials which we use, which are conifers. We are the only company who works with that in Europe. So what problems are we tackling? It's related to anti-aging. I think we can all understand that aging and the problems which come with it can actually touch every one of us. So it is not a small problem by any margin. What we want to do is to improve the health span of all people who we can reach. So basically that everyone can work longer, can be more productive. And it is not a small issue, as I said. So basically what solutions are there? One of the main things that we try to apply in our platform are the most novel scientific advancements, the research which is out there, which has been out there only for a couple of years maybe, and which wasn't available to all of us maybe 5 years ago. So what we try to do is approach this anti-aging problem in a specific way and target specific mechanisms. And we're doing it through our brand, RSM, which we already have tested in Asian trade fairs, where, as I mentioned, we also have some clients which are interested. So our particular solution here is a prototype of a product which you can see. It's a senescence product, which means that it kills and targets specifically old or senile cells. And it gives the opportunity for new cells to grow, and this is how we can deal with the illnesses which come with the age. So basically it's also being tested now in a clinical trial, so we have strong evidence that it works and how well it works. And we're ready, this particular product, we're ready to manufacture it and to start the marketing. So a little bit about the market. It is actually a very highly growing market. It will soon reach 60 billion American dollars. So many people are looking for this type of products, and it's understandable because we could all benefit from this. What we're looking at as partners are distributor companies, other nutraceutical manufacturers, and of course there's a big pharma, which are our competition, but they work towards more genetically related researches, and their products may not be available from the cost standpoint to everyone. What we need is a little bit of funding. That would be around 300,000 euros. So we have different needs which relate to this platform, so we can launch it successfully, and in return we offer company shares. Our target would be to reach around 3 million turnover in the coming years, and we want to launch our brand RSM. We also want to establish a strong export to Asian countries, also to some European countries, to Scandinavia, to USA. This is our core team. We have, I think, good knowledge in the medical, in chemical, and also pharmacological backgrounds, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Your brand is very similar to Silvanol and Silvanol related daughter company and product brands. And I think that Kletnieks.
Yes, here is our CEO, Mr. Kletnieks.
Yeah,
he can comment probably.
I think you were involved in a business with Silvanol now previously?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, actually the company SilvEXPO, it came to be as a unit established specifically for export. But at the end, Online Farm came to take Silvanols, and there was a shift happening, so at the end we just, well, established our own ship. So to
What
say.
is the active avio? What's in English?
Active ingredient.
Yeah, for this your product.
We have several, it's not just one. The specificity of our active ingredients is that they come from natural plants, so they're isolates of natural plants, they're not synthetic. Yeah.
From conifers.
From conifers, but not only. The conifers are unique in the sense that nobody else in Europe, or actually even USA, for example, manufactures this type of extracts.
Silvanol does, also from conifers, and I think that IP belongs to you, Mr. Klepnik.
I think
Am I wrong?
No, Biolat only is the only one
Yeah,
producer
manufacturers.
and extracting and all things is doing Biolat.
Okay,
yeah.
Silvanol was sort of,
No,
yeah,
it's
buying.
legally
They
buying.
buy
And
yeah.
there was a
Yeah.
problem with the intellectual property, ownership of the intellectual property of this active ingredient, as far as I remember.
Yeah, it's but belongs to Biolat, yeah, it's ours.
And this
yeah.
one, this,
Yeah, it's, we have, we have, because we have registered trademarks and registration in
it
France.
means nothing. I'm asking about the active aviola, the
Yeah,
active
the active
ingredient.
ingredients.
Who owns it? Is there any
Actually-
IP? I mean, is there any?
No,
any-
it's not a chemistry compound, it's not possible to make a
Yeah, you
patent,
can't
so
really own
you
it.
can extract and
Yeah.
then so you can patent
The
technology
technology,
process,
yeah.
procedure, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
intellectual, I'm talking about the intellectual property and
So-
any,
Of technology, we are the only ones who
who
have
built,
access
then
to
who
it.
built
Yeah,
technology?
yes, yes.
Who owns it? Who owns the intellectual property or the copyrights of the technology?
Yeah,
You,
our associate
individually,
company.
company, or somebody else?
Oh, well, company, I guess.
We have some patents, so and so because there are a lot of ingredients, so and it depends from ingredient, and some ingredients are everybody can produce, but there are not of knowledge inside, and it's not possible. Practically, it's not reason to copy, to make a copy. So because
Don't understand.
because one technology is not patented, we have some patents, for example, for liposomal technology, and so it's quite, we are very deep in this business.
Maybe
and
we
in
could
this
postpone
details,
this
yes,
discussion for
Yeah, okay, yeah.
networking part and deal with it later. Could you design some drug for immortality as well sometime in the future?
Immortality, yeah. Well, we hope that we can offer some solutions using the newest technologies. I'm not sure that immortality, I don't know how possible it is, but
Yeah.
it's not only one thing that can help you, it's sort of a complex system of how you have to
Right.
do your lifestyle.
Well, thank you, Ilona.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one is one of the youngest entrepreneurs in Latvia. He obtained the legal capacity before majority age. Nikita, he will tell his story about L technology. 3 minutes, yours.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, good evening, everybody. My name is Nikita, and as we all know, startups need everything fast and they need it for low cost. If a startup uses any tech implementation in the product, they will use circuits. And it's most likely that they will go through multiple variations of the product, which means that they will require changes to these circuits, which ultimately brings us to the conclusion that startups require flexible service for circuit board design and production with ability to adapt to small design changes. Of course, there are companies which offer circuit production like JLC PCB or BCB Way, or our neighbors Hansa Matrix and Volburg. Although they mainly target large companies, which means that their minimal order amount goes as high as 1.5 thousand euros, and they basically expect their clients to come with a design which is prepared for assembly, while we aspire to be the ones who offer both design and assembly of circuit boards specifically for startups from the very early stage, basically being a partner and a companion for them while they grow. Our target customers are tech startups and growing tech companies who require flexibility in their product design, and so far we have concluded 20,000 tech startups in Europe who fall under this category. Our adaptation of combining both design and production of circuits using unified design rules allows us to halve the production time compared to competitors and reduced the minimal order amount to 400 euros, which is less than half of our local competitors. Our starting point is in Latvia, where we obtain our clients through business incubators, and so far we have completed projects which include drones, communication devices, circuits for coffee machines, IoT devices, and as a fact, we have also had LMT on our client list. And there are 34 more potential customers and business incubators across Latvia who we plan to assist by supporting them to use grant financing for their product development with us. We offer circuit design for an average price of 8,000 euros, as well as circuit assembly service, which by our estimates is going to generate 750,000 euros in earnings, as well as 400,000 euros in profit by 2021, and bring us our first million by 2023. Our future goals include entering the European market in the second year, as well as reaching 2 million profit and 400 served customers in the next 5 years. And our ultimate goal is to become the choice of tech innovators for developing and producing new electronic circuits. We are seeking an investment of 200,000 euros, of which 85% will go to hardware and equipment, and the rest to business assets. As founders, Einar Slots is the main technical lead of the company with wide previous experience in PCB design, and so far he has designed 25 new products, as well as launched 60 assembled products, while I'm responsible for customer relations with previous experience in tech, as well as customer acquisition channels both in Latvia and Germany. Thank you so much for your attention. I'm now open to your questions.
Thank you. By the way, are you 18 now?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
This
Still
December.
not. Yeah. Right.
Do you have any revenue now? I mean, lately? Or
Yes.
What is the revenue during last 6 months, let's put that way?
Oh, well, basically for the last 6 months have been basically getting clients, but I can tell you that from the past year it was 30,000 euros in revenue.
And how do you plan to grow? 10 times? No? Or 20 times by the end of next year, I think, or something
Basically,
like.
if we can start from this year, from the next year, January, then we plan to grow basically as 10 times the revenue.
Doing what?
Shall we bring it?
Yeah.
This one.
Doing the assembly part for the startups, which they will come in smaller portions, but more of them, and I'll also doing this circuit design. So here you can see the numbers. The earnings in total are both from design and from assembly, but the main part comes from the assembly part.
How many paying customers do you need for that?
Basically, it's around 60 in a year.
Sorry, how much?
60 orders in a year.
60 orders.
It doesn't really set the paying customers. It's more of like how many orders they
And
make.
average value of the order?
For the assembly is 650 euros.
It does not make 400,000.
It does if we take the profit of 30% from the assembly.
That's a profit, not even a revenue.
That's the profit.
I'm
Yes.
talking about the revenue.
And the revenue means is this 750,000.
Okay, good luck.
But this is all calculated and also compared to our competitors, which do the same thing.
Yeah, but now you have 30,000 during last year.
Yes, because we don't have the assembly line to do it. We're basically main part is here right
Okay,
now.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Any more questions, please?
Then that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck. Now we will turn to car maintenance topic, and I'd like to ask Rudolf from the Servix page.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rudolf, and if you are a car owner, most likely you have faced the problem. The price, you never know the price of car repairs beforehand. Second problem that car owners face is trust. It's really hard to find trustworthy car workshop. And third problem is, even though it's 21st century, it's really inconvenient to apply for car repairs or car maintenance. We have made solution. It's if you're familiar with Latvian market, so it's like SilvEXPO where you can compare prices, and it is as easy and trustworthy as application Bolt, where you can order taxi or scooter or whatever. We have made products. By now we have more than 1,600 customers. that use our product. Benefits for customers. Customers can save money and time. That's really valuable. They can find workshops they can trust. And they see full repair history in our platform. Our sales network by now consists from 80 plus workshops in Riga. And business model is 9% from each winning transaction. By now we already have first paying customers that pay for the service. From competition side, there are small competitors in Baltic markets. This business model has proven himself in United States and in Russia, and our target is to become leader in European market. First step for us is Baltic markets. In Baltic market we have 2.5 million cars. Our focus is biggest cities with cars older than 5 years. That means that we have 712,000 potential cars, and we want that every fifth car will use our solution to find car repair shop or to make car maintenance. That means that our potential profit is 1.6 million if 142,000 cars will use our service. Our need for investment is 35,000 euros, and return from investment in 3 years we are planning revenue profit 266,000 euros. Here's our 3-year plan in detail that we can discuss further. Next step is Europe, biggest European cities. Our team consists of me. I'm responsible for sales, customer service, and finance. Our middle guy Martis is responsible for IT development, and Pauls is responsible for products, accounting, and public relations. Thank you very much. I'm really fast. Please welcome for questions.
Who is paying for your service?
Service network, workshops. Workshops pay 9% for each winning transaction, not customer, not user, not car owner. Car owners pay service, and we receive from this workshop, we receive this revenue.
And how do you fix how much the...
It's in our platform. It's comparison platform. Customers sees many offers, and they can compare the price. They can compare the price.
For what damage? Exactly.
Sorry?
For what damage? What kind of problem is the car? You have to know what is it exactly. And this is the workshop who can tell you what it is.
The question is what? How workshop can determine the price?
Well, let's assume my car is just not working. I don't know what I can tell, what the input to get the feedback of how much it costs, what is it.
In this case, basically you write down what are the symptoms, and then the service can see the symptoms, and they can tell approximately what could be the approximate problem. And they are just telling, okay, please come to our service, we can take your car at that and that date, please come and we will inspect
Several
the car.
workshops in this case.
Yeah, workshops tell this offer. The workshops tell that they have capacity to take your car.
Workshops might tell different things.
Yeah, but therefore there is need for this diagnostics in real place.
So, then he goes to the workshop for the diagnostics.
Exactly, but how can he can find the workshop?
Yellow pages, I would say.
It's old school already. But no, this also works perfectly for
But
really
you are
easy
talking about the
tasks.
price comparison. Your key point was price comparison,
Yes,
and you refer to SilvEXPO, yeah?
yes, solids and
So how can you compare the prices in several workshops if you cannot exactly tell what is the problem of your car? As you said, the workshop can examine the car and tell what should be done, not me as a client. So how can I compare the prices if I even cannot make a diagnosis and I don't know what should be replaced?
But in this case, you can find workshops that can help you. That's the point.
Where is the price comparison then?
For this case, you just find the workshop. In this case, you cannot compare the price exactly. But I will tell you, our most customer flow is for maintenance works, like oil change. It is really easy to compare. And services give you approximate, really precise approximate how much this will cost. That works perfectly for car maintenance. And for these really complicated tasks, like, oh, I have engine check lights, there are many, many reasons that could be the problem.
So,
But still, customer can find this workshop in this case. They find the workshop, okay, this workshop has a good customer rating, like,
alright.
customer rating, and they can find the service.
How you will secure that you will get your commission second and the following times? Because they will not go through your application. You mentioned the trust is number one or number two, yeah? Position trust. So if I have found the workshop which I trust, why should I go through your application?
We also have the same problem. This is our business risk, is the customer will not use our application.
Definitely will not.
No. We have several recurring customers that still use our application.
How many?
Even though we have approximately five orders per day right now. Today it was, five orders.
And how many of these 5 you have referring customers?
I can't tell exactly answer for this question.
That's the
But
key-
still, I
that's
have
the key
talked to
point.
the customer and they still likes the option to compare the prices, even though they know that this service workshop is good, but still they want to compare prices
Of what?
of repairs, of car maintenance costs. As
The
I tell,
customer doesn't know what should be repaired. He
But
came to
for
that conclusion.
maintenance-
He does not know what should be done.
for this
He
case,
just,
they
he
can
just knows
find
that the car is not up and running, so that's it.
for this case they can find the workshops that could help.
And the
And,
second time,
And second time, maybe they will go to this workshop, but maybe this workshop will have a huge customer line. They cannot take the car. What then? You are going to not drive your car for 2 weeks and wait for this appointment? Or you will try to find another good workshop for this case?
do you have a car?
Yes, of course.
And how you are going to establish a trust between workshops on your service from Lithuania, Estonia, how you are going to collect your commissions?
Commissions?
Yeah, because the
each-
payments are not going through your platform, right?
Yeah, therefore there is need for local representative who will work with service network. That's how it works in Latvia. We are working with our local workshops and collecting the fees at the end of the month. And for future, we are planning to have integration for payment integration in our platform. So that's our next steps, because market is not ready for that yet.
Let me tell you something. None of these examples are really applies to your case. None of them. It's just mistrusting what you are writing here. It cannot be compared with the boat, because you cannot order the taxi without the application. It does not work. You cannot stop the taxi on the street. No one stops. But you can go to your to the selected workshop second time, not using your application. So therefore, this is not correct. And SilvEXPO is not also correct, because as we agreed, if something happens, you don't know what has happened, so you cannot ask several workshops to give a precise proposal for the fix. Just my comment. Don't mislead with these 2 examples. It doesn't work.
All right, probably would also think about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks. And now, let's see if socially significant product can be turned into profitable business. Willis, please, tell a story about Bruno.
Hello, my name is Willis and I will tell you about Brunomaster. This man is Maris. He has lost his sight 25 years ago. His life was hard, he says, but one thing saved him: books. Of course, there are lots of thousands of audio books available now, but the newest literature to Maris is available through his daughter's help. She reads him books aloud. The readings become less and less frequent. The data shows in Europe alone there are 3 million people who have lost their sight completely, and 22 million with visual impairment. We have 2 products: the reading machine Bruno of printed books for 1,600 euros, and reading software Brunomaster for digital material. Software works with any PC with a scanner. This year in Frankfurt we exhibited on Site City. It is the largest European industry trade fair. We got our foot through the door. We got 4 resellers who sold 9 reading machines and 2 software licenses. We want to start in Germany, the country with more than 500,000 of blind or visual impaired people. German customers do not have to pay for technical aids by themselves. The health insurance is mandatory and it covers all expenses. We aim to contract with the German largest insurance company to be listed in their product catalog. Of course, there is competition, but our reading machine is much more better if we talk about scanning books. That was confirmed by 70% of our visitors on the Site City exhibition. And secondly, we will complete a mobile version of this reading machine, and then we will have only one competitor. We are 2 partners. I am responsible for management and sales, and I have experience with technical aids before, and Helmut is technical manager. In the next year, we are going to sell 500 units of reading machine, and then every year we want to double our sales volume. We ask for 90,000 euros investment, mostly to cover current assets and marketing expenses. I'm willing to offer you 10% of equity. Thank you.
Could you design a mobile version of this device?
Yes.
And the pocket-sized device, which could be put together, the scanner, pocket-sized scanner with who works together with mobile phone?
Yes, it's possible.
Are you working on that or
No. We do not work on that because we can discuss that later. But what blind people need, they do not need really mobile devices, but they need to read books. And the process is he scans a book and then afterwards it listens.
Yeah, but with mobile scanner you could have a chance to scan almost anything.
Yes, the mobile scanner will have a disadvantage because we have a book edge. It helps completely to scan the page, and we have very high recognition results. What cannot be done with any mobile scanner.
But what exactly is your added value to this product? The scanner, you don't produce the scanners, yeah, I believe.
Yes.
So you don't produce the earphones. What exactly you produce?
We do device that is all in one.
Sorry?
It is all in one device. It doesn't need any computer, and a blind person can service by himself. It is a big problem for blind people to work with.
Sorry,
I
this
think-
hardware,
Yes.
which I see on the
Yes.
screen.
It's hardware.
This is something you produce
Yes.
here in Latvia
Yes.
from scratch, all
Yes.
technology, or you just assemble something.
It is everything ours. Of course, we take OEM scanner and we put everything together inside in one.
What is everything?
Enclosure. It comprises PC, our own software, and actually that's all.
Okay, there's a
It's
scanner
know-how.
which you buy, yeah?
Yes.
Then there's the PC, I mean, some hardware,
Yes.
and your
And
your
we-
software.
We add our know-how. We change internal parts of the scanner and add our computer. Okay, add computer, and we install also our software inside.
Okay.
So it is a complex solution.
And others, I mean, other competitors worldwide don't do that. How
They-
do they do it? How it works? What is your, I mean, your competitors, what is their solution?
They use another kind of scanners.
Okay, but scanner is a piece of equipment, so today they use one, tomorrow they use another one. It's nothing unique, it's nothing you produce. It's an OEM. We do it on an OEM basis, so you buy the scanner as a piece of equipment.
Yes, and it is our know-how, how we do modifying, and our software what we put inside.
So the software makes your solution unique.
Yes,
And
on
the
so-
software is something which brings you a competitive advantage against
Yes.
other.
And on the site city, 70% of our visitors, it is almost 150 visitors. They confirm that our design is much more better than all the others what was exhibited on the exhibition on the site city.
Is the design
No.
so important in that
Yes.
case?
For book scanning, it is most important part.
Any more questions, please?
And how much does it cost? Yeah.
The device costs 1,600 euros.
And analogs? Not that nice design, but analogs?
Analogs cost 16 to 35 standards. It depends on either you buy on public tender, through public tender, or it is piece by piece on internet
1,600
platform.
is what? This is your production cost, or this is a retail price, or
It
wholesale
is
price?
retail price.
Sorry?
It is retail price.
Retail price.
Yes.
And your costs?
Costs
And
are
actually, yeah, costs.
700 euros.
And wholesale price?
Also 1,400. Of course, if they buy more, then we can do.
And you
We can
expect
give-
that the retailers will accept working with you for 200 euros? I mean, less than 20%?
We do not control their sale price. They accept our offer for one unit 1,400 euros.
Okay.
And we do not care either they say for sell for 1,600 or for 2,000 euros. It's not our business. If they are
Actually, it is your business.
okay with our proposal,
Actually, it is your business, because the number of customers depends whether the retail price is 1,600 or 2,600.
yes, but nobody knows the price. It is not listed on the internet. On the internet, figure price is very high, 3,000 and so on. We can discuss this later if you're interested in. I can show you everything.
All right. Any more questions?
And how much have you sold already?
We have sold 9 pieces to 4 countries.
And where do you sell it? What
So, our clients are in Israel, Ukraine, Slovenia, and Latvia.
sorry, what are in these countries?
Israel, Slovenia, Ukraine, Latvia, and now we discuss with a company from Moscow for demo equipment to them.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, good luck. And concluding to Robert, Autopromo.
Okay, hello everyone. So there are so many advertising channels right now, billboards, digital banners, radio, TV. But what about cars? Why advertisers don't use millions and millions of cars driving around the cities every day? There's problem for that. It's hard to measure where the car goes, and therefore it's hard to measure how many impressions the ads on car generate. Therefore, we have created the easiest way to execute and measure ads on cars, Autopromo. Our solution is that we have created a software where advertisers can track the mileage of the cars, they can see where these cars go, and most importantly, they can track how many impressions these ads on cars generate. Our customers are advertising agencies working with big brands. We already have 10 customers, and 3 of them are committed to include us into the 2020 budget. Most importantly, we have 5 successful campaigns. What we offer to our customers is ability to select drivers based on their driving habits, based on their car appearance, ability to select from more than 500 drivers registered already on our platform, and ability to track where the car goes and therefore measure how big is the audience reached. So, as you may notice, our competitors are located in the United States, UK, Russia, and Indonesia. But Europe is free, and this is where we are headed full speed. Our market there is 500 million euros, and we're hungry to take them all. So the summary of our company: our product is ready, we have already 500 drivers registered on our platform, we have strategic partnerships with Yandex Taxi and with Latvian University who are helping us to further develop the audience measurement tool, and we have committed customers. Our goals. Our goal is to reach 180K profit by the end of the next year, break even by the end of the 2022, enter the Rhine-Ruhr metropolitan region in Germany by the end of 2023 and reach profit there of 3 million euros, and by the end of 2026 conquer all over the Eastern and Central Europe and reach 50 million euros in profit. So what is our ask? 50K investment for 5% into our company to boost marketing and continue our product development, plus additional 50K loan for driver payouts. And we are the winning team to do this. We have 5+ years experience in IT and marketing, 7+ years experience in sales and business development. My name is Robert, this is my team, and together we are on our way to disrupt the outdoor advertising industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, please.
What is your product?
Our product is software. Let me show you.
Software of what?
Software where advertisers can track the mileage of the cars, they can see where these cars go, and most importantly, they can track what is the audience these ads on cars generate.
And how do you do that?
We do it simply. Each driver, when it's selected during the campaign, each driver turns their mobile application. We have a mobile application for drivers and dashboard for advertisers. Each driver, when the campaign starts, turns on the mobile application. This mobile application tracks the mileage, tracks where these cars go, and here the mobile application tracks the heat map where exactly the car has been the most. That's how we track it. And the audience, how we track it, we have both an audience measurement from Riga City Council, which is then further implemented together with our colleagues from Latvian University to calculate this audience. So how this happens? When a car crosses a crosswalk, that's the moment when our system starts to calculate how many cars, how many bicycles, how many people, how many public transportation has possibly seen this ad. And that's when our dashboard just calculates everything. As you can see, here we can see how many pedestrians have seen, how many cyclists have seen, how many other cars have possibly seen this ad.
How do you get 46,767, which is bicycles or what?
Bicycles.
Yeah.
Those are impressions. Those are possibility, how many of these cyclists have
Based on
possibly
what,
seen.
I understand that there's the figure, but how do you justify that the figure is at least 10% plus minus right?
I mean, it's not justified like that, completely. It's just,
How can you prove that this figure is correct?
This figure that we have that this dashboard has probably calculated, it's just a probability. Those are impressions. In advertising industry, everything is measured in impressions. Those are
I
possibilities.
understand, but based on what you measure the impressions? Car drive, let's say
based on
car
the
drives
research.
from this point through Riga down the Briviba
Mhm.
Street to Jugla, okay?
Yeah.
At that point of time, which is, let's say, 6 o'clock p.m. So,
Mhm.
how do you measure these views
There are statistics, as I said,
what
both
statistics?
from Riga City Council of statistics of 300 crosswalks all across the Riga city. We have
so,
both these statistics. In these statistics, there's included drivers, other cars, cyclists, pedestrians, trucks, and public transportation. But those are not the data that we are just putting. I mean, if there is a crosswalk with 500 drivers in at 6 a.m. in the morning, and if our car just crosses this crosswalk, that doesn't mean that those 500 drivers have possibly seen. There is an additional statistical model provided by Latvian University, which actually calculates how many of those 500 have possibly seen at that moment of time, at 6 a.m. In this research, let me just explain. In this research, we have also included the population of the Riga city and the population of the city region, and also how many advertising spots on a car there are. For instance, let me show you. Here you can see the car. This is one of our campaigns. This car was wrapped from both sides. That means there are 2 advertising spots. This means that while this car is going straight, I don't know, Briviba Street, for example, pedestrians and other drivers, other cyclists, they see from the right side, they see this ad, and also since this car has the second advertising spot, this car is viewable also from the other side of the street, meaning that also advertising spots count in calculating how many people have possibly seen this ad. And also the frequency, how frequently this car has been crossing one particular crosswalk. For example, Briviba and Zirno Street. This car has crossed this crosswalk, I don't know, it's at 6 a.m. as you mentioned, at 9 a.m. and maybe then at 5 p.m. in the evening. So these are 3 different frequencies, so that means 3 different audiences possibly reached during that particular day.
Does your competition use the same statistical model?
As regards our competitors, we actually don't know what kind of statistical models they use in US and in Russia.
Is
Only
your
thing-
better?
Sorry?
Is your
Yes, absolutely,
precision
absolutely,
of your
absolutely,
model is better?
absolutely. It's better because we already know that sticker ride in Russia and in US, it's a probability that they use just above data from some kind of company. But our data will be specifically justified and verified by the Latvian University. There's a special research already going on, and Latvian University will provide everything to validate this research all over the Europe.
And why do you need all that? I would understand that you need this just to stick the price or have some price link to the views.
Why do we need this audience measurement?
Yeah, this, yeah, all that.
First of all, because advertising agencies, our customers, they are requesting these data. Because advertising agencies, they are working like wholesalers for their clients.
I know how they work,
And
yeah.
exactly. And these clients, they go to advertising agency and they ask, okay, I buy this campaign from Autopromo, how many possibly impressions this advertising campaign will bring to me? So we give these numbers. And secondly, what we have researched is that actually in Latvia we are the second ones only who use some kind of data. The first ones is JCDecaux, the second ones actually are us. And this differentiates us because, I mean, right now people are requesting this data, and it's kind of a new movement in data. Everything is justified by data, and everything should be justified by data, not just better price. So
How Latvian University will help you in Paris or Berlin?
in Paris, let me tell you how everything will be conducted. So Latvian University has already agreed to take on this research. What they will do, they will just take Latvia as a pilot study, and this research will be done in Riga city, and then once this research will be validated in at least 3 worldwide conferences, then at that moment, since it will be validated, then at that moment this research will be applicable to any city in the world, any city in the Europe where we are headed, Paris, I don't know, Barcelona, Berlin, anywhere. This is already confirmed by Latvian University.
Any more questions? Seems that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for today. I would like to thank our host, Zane, and SEB Bank Innovation Center and Latvian Investment and Development Agency who supports us to run these pitching sessions. And Anatoly, if you would,
I need business angle, maybe. Here, lūdzu, tuvināties pie mani. Būs vieglāk